everybody. I'd like to welcome you to the Huddle Roundtable. And before we get going, because I've done some of that extra stuff with the intro and everything else, I just want to get a thumbs up from my guys or from the super chat to make sure that you can hear me and you can hear the guys. So guys, can you hear me okay? Great. Guys in the panel, if you guys could just keep an eye on the super chat, just give me a wave, Nick, if there's anybody that can't hear, and hopefully you can hear the sound and everything else. So one of our guests that's going to be on here was not in there. We had to do some shuffling around. So as we continue to expand with the show and expand with the intros, I will continue to input people in there and export people and everything else. But a ton of fun. And I have to say, I got to give a ton of credit to Norbcam. Norb and his buddy Mike Lorraine, that stock footage, which is actually now my personal stock footage along with Mike and Norb, it was actually filmed over a decade ago. In terms of the players that you see, that's all footage that Norb and Mike took during our games, and I've gone through probably 20 hours of footage to land on about 15 minutes worth of stuff that I can kind of peruse through for different opens and effects and everything else. So everything you see on this channel for the most part is going to be very genuine, authentic, from the sidelines, filmed by Norbcam himself and his buddy Mike. So just a big thanks to them, and they were also the ones who taught me how to do some of the visual effects and editing and such, but. Just a ton of fun because I want to put it together for those guys. So with that, again, I want to welcome everybody to the Huddle Roundtable. This is something we've been doing for quite a while now. We're not veterans at it, but we've been doing it for a couple of weeks. So we're hoping that now people are in a comfortable position. I'm getting a little bit more relaxed. I think the guys are getting a little bit more relaxed. So before I bring them on, just like I've always said before, we just got a basic, simple set of 4 rules here. And it's based on what I always taught our quarterbacks to do when they would go into the huddle, and based on what I wanted other leaders to do and such. And that was this. I wanted them to encourage, I wanted them to challenge, I wanted them to warn, and I wanted them to instruct. Those are the 4 big things. Encourage, challenge, warn, and instruct. So that's what I ask of these guys when they come onto the show. I want them to do those 4 things with each other. We're going to battle sometimes. There's going to be some times where they probably don't take turns the way they should, and I'm fine with that. So with that, I'm going to bring these guys on. So here they come, and I know they're going to be excited about what's going on, but I need to actually get them set. Now, before you talk, guys, I'm going to pull you in. Nope, because I'm gonna pull you guys in there, so because you can see me. So you guys are in the big black hole right now. So give me a second. That's part of all the editing and the focusing that you have to do. And so we are going to make this happen with the old Zoom here. Let me pull them in on the window capture, and there should be. Hey, can we see you guys now? Now. And I will say, I know that my mic, I hit my mic at the same moment. I actually did this a long time ago. So the left side of my face is paralyzed, and I pick up on things because when you lose senses in one place, you pick up senses somewhere else. And so the very first time that my face became paralyzed, which is a story I'll share later, with regards to a sickness that I dealt with for 482 days where I couldn't read, write, walk, barely talk, everything else. Again, that's kind of a radio tease for a little episode I'll be doing later. But after I recovered, I went to go to my first practice, and I always did special teams right out of the chute. So these guys haven't even heard the story. Right out of the chute, I would do special teams. Very first section of the very first practice of spring ball, fall ball, whatever. Very first time I said, guys, we're going to go out, and I was saying I want to do a fake punt. But because my eyeball is this big, face paralyzed, drooping down, I couldn't pronounce certain letters. So when I said we're going to go out and do a fake punt, it didn't come out fake. It sounded like another word. And these kids were just like, wait, this coach just said we don't ever swear out here. And we've never met him. It was my very first time with this team in my second run. And it was like not good. So I know that when I was saying something with regards to something here, I was saying the same thing. It got cut out, but I wasn't swearing, guys. So I know some guys, your eyes just a few minutes ago kind of lit up. Wasn't swearing because I don't swear. I don't do that in the group stuff or anything like that. It's not my thing. So I didn't want people in the crowd to go, who's this guy that's having these young men on the show and like swearing right out of the gate? Didn't happen. Bumped my thing, and you didn't hear the last half of the word that I said to fix the Zoom. So guys, with that, clicking the refresh button. Welcome to the Huddle Roundtable again, guys. Hey. Well, it's good. It's great to have the 3 of you guys back, and it's awesome to have Cameron Hughes. Now, Cameron's going to be the first guy I'm actually going to go to because it's always neat when you have someone that comes on he isn't new to our group. This is just the first chance he's had to be on this Saturday night program. He's a busy dude. He's got his own channel. All these guys are going to get a chance to talk about it. But Cameron went viral a while back, and I'm going to give him a chance to talk about it, whether it's early in the show or later in the show or what have you, whenever he feels like it's the right time. But just super excited to have him be a part of this because he's a big Seahawks fan, as are all these guys, and they come to me via Norbcam. So that's why you'll hear me talk about them a few times, Norbcam, because of the fact that these guys, I just put something out saying, hey, I want to talk to a few guys in a fun way, and they were the one who created this idea and created the Discord and helped me set up super chats and all these other things. So Cameron, welcome to the show. I'm going to bring it to put the ISO cam on you. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us how things have been going. Glad to have you here, man. And tell us how many videos. What are some of like the playlists, or what would people see if they came to your channel? Oh, they can't hear us in the. Uh-oh. That's all right. Okay, all right. Put something out there, and we will reset the piece. Let's find out what's going on here on the desktop audio. All right, let's put it back on the thumbnail. Yeah, I needed to hear that a while back. Just found it now. All right, so let's do this. Test. Are you seeing on the YouTube? See if the super chat, if they start to hear us now, or if you can hear me out there. Nick and you guys, can you go into, just stay on YouTube? I haven't cut off the stream, so they can hear us too out in YouTube land if we're on, because I just did a switch. So tell me if you can hear me in about 5 seconds on YouTube. Turn on your YouTube volume. Nick, can you hear me on YouTube volume or Sky? I just turned off my Zoom mute. Okay, and everybody else in YouTube land can hear us too. So, all right. So with that, I'm going to come back to right here in the beginning here, back to the get-go. And this is, like I said, guys, when guys are asking me, and guys, go ahead, keep your YouTube volume up for just a second to make sure you can hear me on the YouTube. You can mute your Zoom if you want. This is why we do all these tests running. Why I've told the guys that we're not going to do a bunch of crazy stuff until we're up to 300, 400, 500 subscribers and such, because we're still working through some of the kinks of things. So, you guys able to hear on the YouTube now, Nick? Can't hear the panel in the YouTube. Well, let's see if we can solve this. Still unable to hear you guys in the YouTube? Just not the guys in the YouTube. Okay, let's see if we can follow it in the Zoom. We'll get her fixed. Let's get her fixed. We're going to put everything on hold here, and we will come right back in just a second.
A, B, C, D, E. 1, 2, 3.
A, B, C, D, E.
Oh.
I think they could. Oop.
All right, now out there in the super chat world,
Can't hear you now.
Just a thumbs up.
Oh, yeah.
Just a thumbs up if you can hear me And if you can hear Nick Labow, say hi. Just say hi.
Hi.
Cameron,
What's
say
up,
hi.
guys?
Cameron, say hi. Sky High, say hi.
Hi.
Chef Jack Attack, say hi.
What's up?
All right, can everybody in the super chat hear 5 people? Squabble, can you hear 5 people? DJ Squabble out there in YouTube land. Let me know if you can hear us. All right. Tyler says we're good.
Nice.
Tyler Parker says we're good. And we're
2
good
thumbs
to go.
up.
All right.
Tyler Parker's our countdown guy.
Out in YouTube land, were you able to hear the intro? So I know you
Yeah.
saw the intro,
Yeah.
but did you hear the intro?
They were. I think
Squabs?
so, yeah.
Squabs, you hear the intro? Ivan says we can hear all 5 of you. All right, well, we'll play the intro a little bit later. But now that we got everybody, I think we're just gonna roll with it, man. All right, so I'm gonna take it to you guys. I'm not gonna come back to the conversation that I was having earlier, other than I mentioned with regards to my face. I think some people may have heard it, may have not, but it doesn't matter. It's not about me. It's about these guys. So I'm gonna go right back to Cameron Hughes. Cameron, we're super excited to have you as a part of the show. So if you could again. Just tell us, who you are, where you're from. I know you're excited to be a part of this from the get-go. It took a few weeks to get to us, but you're here now, and we're super glad to have you as a part of this.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I live in Washington State. I have a YouTube channel called the Seahawks Network, and I'm like 14 subscribers away from 1,000. So yeah.
14 subscribers away from 1,000, man. That's like by the end of the show, I hope we're getting really close to that. And if not, I'll make sure you're at 1,000 before the night's over. Like you have my word. You will have 1,000 before this night is over. Right,
Thank
Sky
you.
High Aviation?
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, right.
That's why I'm pivoting to you.
Yeah, Coach-
Sky High knows what it's like to have people drop some rain, be a rainmaker when it comes to subscriptions, to subs. Sky High, you don't have to share why. You don't have to share why you have that knowledge, but
Okay.
tell us a little about yourself. We're super glad to have you here, man. I'm so sorry about the beginning technical difficulties. I was so excited to get the sound for the open going. I forgot to click a certain button so that they could hear the most important thing, which is you guys. So Sky High.
Hey, it's okay. As Squabo said, technical difficulties are a fundamental part of a great show, and he's exactly right. And I'm excited to work with everybody here tonight. I know we got a couple new faces joining a roundtable tonight. Yeah, I'm just happy. We're going to talk to good football today. Coach has planned a really interesting segment. By the way, if you didn't know already, we're doing a double header tonight, so stay tuned. We've got some awesome stuff as we're going to rotate to some other guys that have some really cool opinions coming up. I'd like to thank our moderators, Rain and Elena Dole, for keeping the chat safe right now while we do we entertain you and provide you some valuable piece of information that you can take and you can go tell your other friends that, hey, they said this and they said that. So yeah, enjoy the show. Go Hawks.
Glad to have you here. Super excited to have you here, Sky. Chef Jack Attack. Man, I tell you what, dude, I seriously, and just so everybody out there knows, or if you watch this on replay, I'm a dude's dude. So when I'm talking to these guys, I'm calling them dudes. I call my family members dude. It's just part of who I am. So Chef Jack Attack, though, man, I got to tell you, dude, that when I'm watching your channel, it is off the charts. I mean, all of you guys just do a phenomenal job, but I've just started watching your stuff of late. And it is just, it's inspiring to see someone who's just really, really found a focus and a niche and something that's just obviously a massive passion point for you beyond Seahawks football. So Chef Jack Attack, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Thanks, man. So I am a cook. Chef Jack Attack is my channel. I have done other shows on this channel, previous shows. I am so happy to be here, guys. I love doing this show. And I just made my own Discord. I just started to figure out how to, use Discord and stuff. You have to go to my my latest YouTube video, Shrimp Fajitas. Go to the description and just click the link. And there you go. You on my Discord. I got a shout out to my friend who created it, Ethan. But other than that, I'm just super happy to be here. And go Hawks.
Love it, man. Love it. And then up in the upper left-hand corner is a guy by the name of Cowboy. Now, I don't put that out there yet, Nicola, but eventually I am going to put that out there. And that is the fact that I do call you the Cowboy. And the reason I call you the Cowboy is because I've always called the quarterback on my team the Cowboy. And the reason is because I want them to be the calmest guy in in the area or in the stadium when things are on the line. And Nick Labeau just plays that part. So, Nick, tell us a little bit about yourself, buddy.
First off, thank you for the great words. Yes, my channel is Seattle Sports Talk. I am a aspiring sports analyst in the future. I have a video coming out next week, so about the Seahawks free agency, what the NFC West has already done, and how the Seahawks can do a better job in free agency this offseason. So yeah, I'd appreciate it if you'd check that out. Be sure to check out Chef Jack Attack, the Seahawks Network, and Sky High Aviation. I know Sky High is very, very close to 100 subscribers, and Cameron is very, very close to 1,000 subscribers. So please go sub them up, and don't forget to show Jack some love too.
Exactly. And that's why I'm so excited just for all you guys, because what's really neat is I think, the fact that we're kind of trying to, lift each other up. And that's what I love about these guys, man. They work so incredibly hard to help each other, to keep things going. And now, you could hear it at the very beginning, how much they have more love, I think, for each other than sometimes they do for their own channel. And that's what I loved about coaching, is when you had teams where the teammates cared more about the guy to the left and the guy to the right than they did about themselves. Those were the successful teams. So with that, I think we have a really fun show tonight, because we've really, for the first time, kind of planned out a special treat that I think the guys are excited about that'll happen near the end of the show. So we break the show into 3 parts. We go inside the huddle, which is all things Seahawks. So inside the huddle, man, we are just staying within the Seattle Seahawks topics there, with usually a key point, and then we can break out into other things. Then when we go between the hash marks, so we break the huddle, we go between the hash marks, that's all things NFL. And then we'll hit a main topic on that and then breeze around to some other things. And then we go outside the hash marks. And when we go outside the hash marks, that's usually some random thing. It can be NFL related, might not be NFL related. But today we got a really cool thing that's related to kind of some of the best of all time and the best of now. And there's a combination. It's got a little Olympic theme to it and a best of theme to it. And I put these guys on the spot just today, and we had a draft and everything else. So I'm actually super excited to get to that part of the program as well. But before we do, as you can see with our topics, the top one for our Inside the Huddle is KJ Wright. I did a breakdown on him of the Coach's Corner on Norbcam show. It's been a topic for quite a few people. Not only him, but also we can jump into Shaq, and there's the Russell Wilson thing. But I told the guys I really kind of want to take a break from the Russell Wilson talk. Of course, it's a high topic thing, but there's other guys on this team that we got to have, or maybe we don't have to have. And so I want to let these guys, I don't give my opinion on this show. I get to do that on my own roundtable with Norbcam and DJ Squabble and Steezy and Abker and Seahawks Martin, who's open by the way I love, because I love that little rap that guy does for him. So I'm just going to open the floor. I'm going to start with you, Nick Labeau, because you usually like to come with some facts. You're kind of the facts guy, right? So Nick Labeau, what do you got to say about this whole KJ Wright? And again, the opening statements are usually kind of more, even though I know you got the facts, kind of gut feeling. You can support it with facts, but I want to know kind of at the heart where you kind of stand on this, and then we can go from there. So Nick Labeau, start us off on KJ Wright. What are your thoughts?
After watching your Coach's Corner, I learned a lot more about KJ Wright's play this season, and
tell me what
he
you
had
thought
some
before the
very.
Coach's Corner, then. What did you think? What was your thoughts before the Coach's Corner? Before
the Coach's Corner, I knew he had a clutch season, a great player, so far a lifelong Seahawk, and I really liked him. And after the Coach's Corner, that reinforced my thought that he was a great player, a clutch season this season, and that we need to keep him around, even if the price is high. I don't know if I'd pay him over 9-ish to 10-ish million per year, but 8, probably, maybe 9 if you catch me on a good day. But KJ Wright at the end of the day needs to stay in Seattle. He was an instrumental part to how that defense played. Even though we drafted Jordan Brooks to replace him, we still need to keep him around, because I don't necessarily believe Brooks is ready to step into that bigger role as the linebacker too. And I don't think that this offseason, with all of Seattle's needs, they can really afford to go look for another linebacker.
Man, great opening thoughts, but that's why I'm going to jump right to Chef Jack Attack.
I agree.
Attack, what do you think?
I agree 100% on Nick with this.
100%?
KJ Wright
100%?
is a fantastic player. Yep, a fantastic player. a good guy. Okay, he's a good guy. He's a good player. He's perfect for the Seattle Seahawks. Okay.
So as you continue to go, I'm going to tell you, Chef Jack Attack, Cameron Hughes is about to jump all over any of you guys.
Fine.
Nick,
that's fine.
That's fine. I'm not going to pick a guy because he's a good dad. That's right, Cameron Hughes. I read your comments, buddy. All right, keep going, Chef Jack Attack.
Okay.
I'm 100% on board with you.
If anybody disagrees with me, I disagree with you. Okay. He is meant for the Seattle Seahawks. Okay. He had a great season, a fantastic season with Bobby Wagner. Okay. Those two are duos. You split them up, Bobby will be upset. You get rid of Bobby, KJ will be upset. You know, they're the duo. They are duo, you know, linebackers. You can't get rid of them. Anybody disagrees with me, I disagree with you.
So with that, Cameron, I'm going to go to Nick first. Nick. Oh, I'm sorry. Not Nick. I'm going to go to Sky High Aviation. Sky High. What do you think, man? And then we'll debate it a little bit.
Okay. Well, if you want to go with gut feeling, obviously the NFL is a business. It's business is business. But I think, you know, KJ Wright, he's a hometown guy. A lot of people like him. He's really that dude that's kind of like it doesn't quite feel right if he's not there at all. He's kind of like, oh my gosh, KJ Wright's not there. It kind of feels like there's this big piece of his defense missing. Clearly, if he's not there, theoretically there's a big piece missing. But kind of like if you look at it from a heart, all the players that make up the heart of a defense, you take KJ Wright out, kind of pulls out just a big, nice chunk of that heart, and it kind of just, you know, kind of makes you sad because, you know, he's kind of the guy who's kind of that core central of the defense. No disrespect to Jamal Adams or Bobby Wagner; those guys are a bit more vocal, but he's kind of that dude who, you know, he's kind of under the radar. He's a quiet dude. I think he belongs in Seattle because Seattle's tucked up in the Northwest. It's a quiet little city. Not to say us 12s are quiet, but it's, you know, it's pushed up there, up in the corner. So I think he kind of belongs here. It's just there's no place or else he would go. There's no place where everybody would know his name. There's no place where when he gets introduced in the field, everybody in the stadium goes, KJ Wright. No, it's just kind of like he belongs in Seattle. So it's kind of like if he goes, part of the defense and part of this team goes with him. And it kind of leaves us with a big little open piece of our heart, kind of like that little chunk of the defense heart. So it's kind of sad if he does leave.
Man, and I see some of your production team going behind the scenes there too, Sky High, which I love.
Yes,
I love when we get Sky High on the show, man. He's always got his production team working around him. So now I got
the producer is around the clock, working around the clock right now, looking for something.
Love it. Cameron. Now, you know I'm kidding you when I say what I said because I think it's funny. I think it's great. I'm an old dude, so I look into the stuff like, is he a good dad? Does he treat people right? And then I feel like, who cares, man? Does he hit a guy or not? Cameron, talk to me, man. KJ Wright.
Well,
opening thoughts.
Yeah, obviously,
this is like your 30 to 60 seconds. Since this is your first time on, 30 to 60 second kind of thought.
Yeah. So obviously, I think he's a great person. We all know he's a great person, but like, just because he's a great dad, I wouldn't pay him $10 million. But like, he's declining, so I wouldn't. He's going to be declining very soon. Not saying he is now, just because he's 32 years old, and I don't think I wouldn't pay him more than like $6 million, like what he's making right now. And I think we can sign Bruce Irvin to a minimum contract, like less than $1 million, and get.
And we'll come around to the Bruce Irvin. We'll come to those other guys for sure. Okay. No doubt about it. But yeah. All right. So anything else on just your opening thoughts? I'm going to bring it to the group. But any last thing on Cameron for you? Isolated opening thoughts. Anything else?
No, not really.
All right. So
here's the difference.
Go for it, Nick.
Between you could definitely let him go and sign Bruce Irvin, but Bruce Irvin's coming off a ACL tear, I believe. He's coming off a really bad injury. And the one thing about KJ, he was, if I'm correct, he was healthy all 16 games. We don't find that in a lot of players.
All right, here, let me throw something out here. Ready? Here, let me talk here for a sec. So, Cameron, let's just say this. And Nick, I agree. I'm more on your side here. I'm leaning towards your side more, and I'm on your side more. But let's say this, Cameron. Cameron makes a good point that, when you get older, your body starts to decline. And He's 32. Not saying he's old. I mean, he's still young. He's young, still in good shape and stuff. But again, he will be getting older. He's not getting any younger, and I'm just saying this. He could decline in the next year or two. I'm not taking that away from him, but I mean, like you said, Nick, he was healthy for like every game this season. Bruce Irvin tore his ACL in like the first 3 weeks. I mean, I like Bruce Irvin, but I'm taking KJ with $10 million. And, I want to pay KJ Wright what he wants, because at the end of the day, if we get back Bruce Irvin, it's not like a huge deal. I mean, Bruce Irvin's getting kind of older too. I mean, KJ's a better player than Bruce Irvin.
No doubt. And for the record, Cameron, I agree with you. He is aging. He will start to decline. And that's why, for the record, I would not give him more than a 2-year deal. Obviously, there's probably going to be a team that offers him maybe a 3-year deal, but no good team is going to offer him over a 2-year deal. I guarantee that.
I mean, listen, he is a good player, and I can't take that away from him. I mean, well, what am I taking away from him? I'm saying he's a great player. But again, I mean, he could stay healthy. He could stay healthy. I mean, look at Tom Brady. Obviously, he can't move as fast. I mean,
a quarterback and linebacker are very different.
Yeah, you're right. But I mean, Tom Brady's what, 42 years old? Doesn't matter what position you are. You're playing 42 years old. Unless you're the punter or kicker. I mean, he's still 42 years old. I mean, that's pretty incredible. But, I mean, KJ Wright in the next 2-3 years can still be, pretty good. He doesn't have to decline if he stays healthy and, I know he tackles the guys. But if he does, like, good tackles, safe tackles on these guys, who knows? But, again, he might.
I'll tell you this. Off the top of my head, and the chat can correct me if there's a big name, but I don't know any linebacker who's played elite at 35.
I'm not saying 36. Playing elite. I never said playing elite.
Or good. Good.
Good. I mean, why can't he? I never said elite. That never came out of my mouth. Ray Lewis? Maybe. Yeah, exactly. I don't know.
Well, fair.
I don't know too much about Ray Lewis, but Ray Lewis is like a legend.
Ray Lewis is also a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, exactly. Ray Lewis is unbelievable. I mean, he's a monster, that man. But dude, he could still be good. You can't just count him out. Not saying he's going to be great and this good as he was last year. I never said that. But he could be good. And maybe I said that wrong, before. I think he can still be good, but not like unbelievable and spectacular and great and elite. But he can still be good. You can't take that away from him. You never know. You never know. He can still be a good player.
I'm just saying, with the history of players in their level at 35, I'm not giving KJ $10 million a year for 3 years. So if it's a good day for me, I'll do it for 2.
Okay, yeah, okay. I agree with you on the contract, but still, I mean, I don't care about the history. He's a different guy everybody's different. Yeah, look at Tom Brady. As much as different positions they are. Okay, hold on. Tom Brady is 2 years old, and he's still playing at an elite level, okay?
Tom Brady also has a top-tier offensive line protecting him every play. KJ Wright is tackling people and hit-sticking, jumping up for the football and interceptions. Tom Brady's not putting his body at as much of a risk as a linebacker would.
I'm going to break you two up right now. All right. This seems to be getting a bit out of hand.
Sky High, here's what I got to say, man. I pulled myself off, and I haven't done this on any of the shows. You guys went almost 2 full minutes without me having to squelch the conversation, get you guys back kind of on track. Like, keep it up. You guys are like, that's what I want, man. I want to be able to pull myself out and let you guys go so I can just operate the show and let you guys do your thing. So, man, just great job on the outset by just showing such great improvement over from week 1 to week 2 to week 3 to here you guys go. I mean, just keep it up. Sky high. Go for it, man.
So to add on what Nick was saying is no team is going to offer him more than 3 years. I'd be shocked, like literally shocked, if some team offered him more than $4 million per year. Let's just say it happens. Let's say we re-sign KJ Wright for 2 years and we pay him. The deal in total is worth $60 million. And that'll be paying him $8 million a year if I do the math correctly, right? So
Yeah.
if he does that, let's just say he plays out those 2 years perfectly fine, and Pete Carroll's finally, if Pete Carroll's still our head coach, if he's finally ready to let Jordan Brooks take in. KJ Wright, at that point in time, I see him as a player of depth. It's always good to have depth in these positions in my mind. It's always good to have depth in running back, receiver, offensive line, defensive line, and the linebackers. Always great to have depth here because linebackers are always getting their feet wet. They're always hitting
was
guys.
Was there any group you didn't name there, Sky High?
Huh?
Was there any group that you did not name there? You pretty much
Special
said it's great to have
secondary.
Special team, secondary, and quarterbacks.
Keep it up, man. Keep it up. Cameron, I'm going to be coming to you next. You're being kind of the quiet assassin here. Go for it.
To continue what I was saying, if KJ Wright does get extended, he plays his heart out. He's getting old, but why not keep him longer for depth? And he may start again for all we know. We may draft another linebacker, but again, keeping KJ Wright, even if he doesn't start, or even if he doesn't start, if he starts this year but doesn't start next year, keeping him for depth is always important. Keeping veteran guys depth is always important because look at it. Cody Barton can't tackle.
He's coverage.
He's coverage. He's a coverage guy. He can't tackle dudes. Ben Burke, I haven't seen him play defense in a year because of preseason.
Right.
So we're Shaquem Griffin. He's more of a defensive line dude now. He's more the guy who plays on the edge. He's more of that, big. He's more of that, fast. Like to think Michael Bennett kind of guy. So if KJ Wright does get re-signed and then plays out his contract, just re-sign him again. Re-sign him until he can't go anymore. Because it's, first of all, I already said from my gut, this guy's a heart and soul of this defense. Second of all, this guy provides excellent depth and excellent leadership to a defense that in 2 or 3 years may not have a lot of leadership. We may have guys leaving. We may have guys coming back.
Cameron,
who knows?
you've been sitting quietly. Sky, that's great points there, Cameron. Now let's come back to you, man. I love that you're kind of just being patient and waiting your turn. So I'm getting to know your identity and your personality already. But what are you feeling about what you're hearing here, man?
I think 4-3 outside linebackers are pretty easy to replace. Like, do you guys remember David Hawthorne or Leroy
Talk
Hill?
a little bit about 4-3. I mean, obviously I can break it down, guys here know, but let's pretend someone, the Mars expedition, things that are happening. Like, how'd you explain someone just basically when you're saying 4-3, like what the heck does that mean? And just a basic
3-4 outside linebackers are edge rushers, and 4-3 outside linebackers are off-ball linebackers who either play coverage,
great job,
or in a variety of different 4-3 schemes. They're either covering tight ends or stuff like that. But like David Hawthorne, we let him go. He was only like 26 years old, coming off a pretty good year. We let him go in free agency. We draft Bobby Wagner. Perfect for us. And then Leroy Hill, we let go in 2012. Bruce Irvin replaces him as Sam linebacker. So I think guys are easily replaceable, and we can use that $10 million that we would be giving KJ to get Corey Linsley, who's probably going to get like $10 million in free agency, and try and make Russ happy or something.
What do you guys think on
and who would you suggest we replace?
Yeah, who would you suggest?
Yeah,
I mean, KJ.
There are a few linebackers in the draft.
What do you think?
Jordan Brooks is the replacement. Who would you suggest? Jordan Brooks is a replacement. Who would you suggest replaces where KJ was forced to play this year, basically?
Yeah,
there are some 4-3 Sam linebackers in the draft. Like I had the Seahawks picking Dalen Hayes in the 4th round in one of my mock drafts. But I think Bruce Irvin can give us if not starting, like a starting role, he can be a depth guy.
Bruce Irvin's specialty is not in coverage, though. His specialty is on the line.
Bruce Irvin is 33 years old. Bruce Irvin.
Yeah, but you can get him for less than $1 million.
Yeah,
and
it's not about age.
He's a Sam linebacker on early downs. He is
a Sam linebacker. That is true.
That's what I love about Chef Jack Attack, man. I think the age bracket is once you get to like that 3 is the first number, like your ancient history. Now, I hope that you don't think about that in real life, Chef Jack Attack, because I'm like, if he's old, man, I am like Mount Everest, man. I am like
Yeah.
way old. Like I'm, I mean, I am a grandpa. Yes, I am a grandpa. But what for you? Just real quick, just out of curiosity, what at the linebacker position? Because I think I think we understand that every position is a little bit different for age. What is that age threshold where you kind of look and go, man, like you most likely on the downside, on the decline? Again, I have my own thoughts on it, but I want to hear I'm just going to go real quick around just at the linebacker position. What do you think is that age bracket where you kind of go, gosh, is it 28, 29, 30, 34, 37? Just in general, if you like saying, oh, Tom, you can't say everybody's like Tom Brady. Not yet. Here you go, quick. Nick Labow, what's the age for a linebacker that you got to really look at and go, man, at that age, you have to take age into consideration. When does that start?
Honestly, I'm going to say 35.
Okay, 35.
Is when it starts.
Okay, Cameron,
Although
what do you say? I just want the number. I don't want any extras.
Okay.
35 years old. So you're saying that up until 35, linebackers in general are still, you don't have to talk about their age. Like it. Cameron.
If they're healthy.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So I'm taking everything if everything is all even, right? Because you can look at quarterbacks now and go, well, quarterbacks should be able to play till they're 40 because you got Breeze and, Brady and Aaron Rodgers. But most people would probably say, when the quarterback's 32 or 33, that's when you're going to start thinking about, gosh, should we draft someone? Like, there's probably at that point, they're 10 to 12 years in the league. Running backs, it used to be 3.5 years, like literally 3.5 years. That was the mark of a starting running back out of college after they'd done 4 years of college, 3 years in the NFL. That fourth year, you better be thinking about trading, drafting, free agent after that fourth year. You're talking like 27 years old for a running back. So linebacker, all total. You want to stay with 35, Nick?
Yep.
Okay. Cameron, what do you think? Age?
30.
30. Okay. So that's about roughly 8 to 10 years in the league. Sky High, age?
I'm going to go 37.
Okay. So I'm
high number.
Kind of surprised you guys are saying the numbers. Chef Jack Attack, 18?
35. I agree.
Well, hold on now, Chef Jack Attack. You just said that the guy's 33, he's old, and 2 weeks ago there was some guy's like 29, and you're like, he's old. That guy's old. Like Norbert and I were laughing about it, how funny it was.
I mean,
and it's great.
Okay, ready? If you stay healthy, why not? I mean, 30. I don't know, 35 to 36. I would say 36 is like when you guys, coaches, are going to start having meetings like, all right, what do we do with this guy?
Yeah,
people start talking about it. I would say 36. I mean, 35 to 36. But if you keep your body healthy, why not? But I would say 36. I would say 36, right between Sky High and Nick, 36.
All right.
Respectable.
Yeah, definitely respectable. No doubt about it. So, what else? So, KJ, because I don't want to belabor these points, right? I want to kind of keep the show moving tonight. So, anything else that we should be thinking about? We know we got Shaq out there, and we know, free agency is coming up pretty soon. In fact, Nick, real quick, just a 30-second piece, free agency time frame. And I'm putting you on the spot here a little bit. And if you don't know, it's okay to say I don't have that. But Nick's kind of our all-encompassing when it comes to numbers and free agency and those things. And I know there's other guys that can, but everybody kind of has their specialty. Nick, for you, just again, for the uneducated person that's never seen anything with football before, like free agency, what are they even talking about? When does it kind of really get rolling and starting? So when should we be looking for all this crazy stuff that we know is about to happen because of the cap drop and teams that are under and over, but just time frame, kind of a calendar piece?
Well, obviously we have the league year does not start until I believe March 17th. So not next week, but the week after. And that's when free agency starts and all the players, all our players, Shaq Griffin, KJ Wright, Chris Carson, those guys, they all go out into the free agency bubble and can negotiate and sign with other teams. I mean, I'm pretty sure
it's the question, because people out there are going to say, because they've been asking me, well, then, how's JJ Watt able to sign? And how, because some people get confused on when the guy's traded free agency.
Right.
Can a guy commit? Like a college player can commit, but he can't sign. So he could still change his mind, or can he? So, like, use JJ Watt as an example of, is he really signed with the Cardinals right now? Or is it more like, yeah, committed? Or is he a free agent? Is he not a free agent? Did he get traded? Like, how would you describe the JJ Watt, just so people understand real quick?
So basically what it is, like you could say with the JJ Watt situation, it's the transaction's not going to be official, like in the books until the league year starts. But since the Texans already released J.J. Watt and Seattle released a couple guys, he's allowed to go negotiate early and kind of commit to a team, like in the college world where they can commit to a certain team but then kind of back out. And with trades, like we saw with the Stafford trade, again, that trade is not official until the 17th, and teams can't talk about it. We heard Dan Campbell in his press conference. He couldn't talk about it until the 17th when the trade actually goes down. And so the 17th is when everything happens. But guys can like commit and teams can agree to a trade.
Yeah, great job. So with that said, anybody else on the Seahawks that we should be thinking about coming in? And I'm not talking about, signing or any other big deals that we want to hit on. I mean, again, we know about Shaq. We know about Russ. Anybody have any comments on either of those guys or anybody else? I don't want to talk about guys that are out there that could be potential because that's just, the list is just way too long. And it's going to be, it'll be the craziest frenzy I think we've ever seen in free agency, but we will hit on that next week's show because we're going to see a lot of things. But anything on any of the other guys or any closing thoughts on KJ?
KJ? No, I don't got it.
It could be anything Seahawks. Anything Seahawks football before we
Russ.
go.
Okay, ready?
Yeah,
I got something about Russ here. So wait, what was
it? You got about 1 minute.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay, hold on. Ready? I was gonna say. Okay, ready? Russ. So now Russ has an opinion, and I've said this last week. He's got an opinion. Not the best opinion. I agree with his opinion, honestly. Not to leave, but that he's upset. I agree with them. He should be a little upset, even though nobody should be that upset if you're getting that much money. But hey, money doesn't buy you happiness. Anyway, Russell Wilson has an opinion. Seahawks don't like it. He's got an opinion for the first time in his whole career, an opinion that Seattle doesn't like. And, they don't like it. Guess what, Seattle? Get ready for the season because if you don't get back Russ, it's going to be a long season.
So, Cameron, I want to know what you think about that. Just a quick, what's your feeling on this piece? Something that I actually brought up, and again, this is me taking over this thing. I brought it up way long time ago, and man, I got shredded by people. And now I like, what's happening? And I am a huge Seahawks fan, and just because he might leave, it doesn't make me any less of a Seahawks fan. Mm-hmm. But I think there's a good chance to leave. So what do you think, man? Because you're a good insider on this stuff.
So I watched this YouTuber. He's got I think he's a couple subscribers away from 4,000. But he last offseason was talking about he was talking about this whole Russ could want out if things aren't changed, and look where we are now. I don't understand why Russ is he did not play. He played average quarterback play through the second half of the year, and that was even when the offense was centered around a running game. Well, not even centered around a running game, but I don't know. It was just bad adjusting to what defenses were throwing at them, and it looked like Russell couldn't even read a cover two, and he was staring down receivers and rolling out of the pocket. And that has something to do with his height because he can't step up in the pocket. And when defenses spread out like the Giants did, when they tried to make him move into the pocket, and he tried running outside the pocket, and a defensive end was waiting right there for him. And it's just not all of it's on the offensive line, and you can't just blame everyone but yourself. And I'd still go out in free agency and get him everything he wants, and if it doesn't work, then we know it's not their fault. But if it does work, we're playing in the Super Bowl and we keep Russ, so it's
Let me
Nick Labow, is he?
I'm not chef.
Is he hurting his? I'm coming to him. Yeah, I'll come to him. He just had a big comment on Russ. Nick, is he hurting his legacy with the Seattle Seahawks fans? Has that started yet? Is the rub hitting him?
Not at all.
Chef Jack Attack, I'm not asking you, my friend. I'm asking Nick Labow.
Dude, how?
He creates the Labow around here. Talk to me, cowboy. Is he?
He kind of already has.
Legacy?
I've seen fans in Seattle who are get rid of him. He's offending us.
Oh my God.
I've seen a lot of fans that say, get rid of him. He's complaining about stuff that we've given him. You know, the offensive line played pretty dang good, probably the best in recent years. This first half of the season, I think it was just bad adjustments. Russ had an awful second half of the year. He was, like Cameron said, he couldn't read simple defenses. He couldn't read passes. We saw that pass in the Rams game. It was, even though, yeah, you could say Freddie Swain missed the block, but still Russ needs to make that read. You don't just hike the ball and chuck it. You look to make sure that a wide receiver is actually open. Yeah, we can go out and get stuff get players. And if we do and Russ is still mad, then we know it's not about Seattle. It's just Russ wanting out.
Why are so many Seattle Seahawks fans so sensitive?
Chef Jack Attack.
Oh my
I want
God!
to go sky high first. I want you to. I can feel you boiling up. So I'm gonna let the pan boil. Let the pot boil a little bit here. Sky high. You got about 30 seconds in the microwave before I go to Chef Jack Attack, who is just boiling over. He's ready to pull something off before it gets burnt.
All right.
Just a quick thing, man.
All right. Quickly, think about Russell Wilson's play. I know Cameron mentioned it. Apparently, he walked out of stormed out of a meeting, before the Arizona Cardinals game. It's kind of right when just piece of humble pie. Think about it. It's right that he stormed out of the meeting right before he started the play just started to decrease. And I'm not going to say his play decreased intensely. It's probably maybe a few games, but the Jets game, he was great. But there were some other games where, he was kind of, I don't want to speculate anything, but ever since he stormed out of that meeting, reportedly, his play is kind of not horrible at times, but kind of slowly descending into, the bottom half of those of QB play in the last 8 games of the year. So I just want to point that out. Now, Chef Jack Attack, I know the pasta water's boiling over the pot right now, and you're about ready to explode. So go ahead.
Great job passing the plate. Good job passing the plate.
Thank you, Sky High. Thank you. Why? And I agree with you, Sky High, here, but why is most Seattle Seahawks fans, including you, Nick, so sensitive about this Russell Wilson thing? So what if he said 1 or 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 comments?
I'll let you respond, Nick. I'll let you respond.
Let the man finish. Let him finish.
No. Hold on.
Chef Jack Attack.
Hold on.
Continue to cook.
So what? He said a couple comments. Tension is everything. There's tension with you and your brother, with you and your sister, wife, husband, boyfriend, girlfriend. Tensions with everything in the world, okay? That's the honest truth. Tension's not always so bad, guys. Grow up. Get ready for the season, Seattle. Great. Guess what? There's tension. Guess what? Grow up, Seattle. Grow up.
Nick Labeau, I'm isolating you for the
record.
I'm isolating you in the corner to come back with
what I was saying, for the record, what I was saying is stuff I've heard from other Seattle sports fans on social media. I'm not saying I'm a part of that group because honestly, I don't think this Russell Wilson stuff is that big of a deal. Yeah, he's allowed to say stuff that he wants. Every other quarterback in the NFL basically does it at his level. Yeah, he didn't play a very good season, but he's allowed to say, I want this. And he did it last season, and there was barely any media attention on it except for Russ wants Seattle to make some splashes, but it was nothing at all how it was this season. I agree with you, Shaq. I think Chef, I think some fans are being overly sensitive about this because if you really look at what he said, he basically just said what he said last season, except more detailed it into, I want to have more of a say in what goes on. And I'm pretty sure he had a pretty nice say in the hiring of offensive coordinator Shane Waldron. But
first in 10 years.
I don't know what happens behind closed doors. And the thing about the storming off, it's really hard to decipher whether he just walked out of a meeting and if the media added that little thing to make the story just even richer. But I kind of have a feeling that this stormed off is just him walking out in the middle of a meeting. And notice how we really started to shift our offensive play calling after that Arizona game. So who knows, maybe that's what he was mad about when walking out. But for the record, I'm not with that group. I don't think this is really the biggest deal in the world. And I agree, some Seahawks fans are overly sensitive.
Well, also, hold on. Also, Russ. Okay, thank you, Nick Labow. You redeemed yourself there just a little bit. Okay, actually a lot. You redeemed yourself. Okay, you did. Thank you. Guess what? Russ has opinion now, and Seahawks don't like it because Russ has never really complained. Obviously, we don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but Russ have never came out and said some like really crazy thing that apparently everybody in the world thinks it's like some crazy thing going on right now.
Right.
But guess what? Russ has an opinion now, and Seattle don't have it. Like I said, tension is not always bad. There's tension every day. Tension with your life. I mean, there's tension everywhere with your family, with your friends. You're going to fight. You're going to, and then you're going to get over it because, you have to deal with it. That is part of life. Tension's not always, so bad. Figure it out, Seattle. Figure it out. Because guess what? Get ready for the season. It's coming. It's coming quick. It's not getting slower. It's coming fast. Get ready for the season. Clean this stuff up. Okay? Russ figure it out. Carroll figure it out. Just give what Russ wants.
So I'm gonna ask you, Shift Jack.
For a sec.
Shift, I love the passion, man. But if Russ goes, and again, when I say that, people just freak out like, well, you're not a Seahawks fan if you think he's leaving. Look, I'm just a realist. Like, there's a chance that you might go. There's a chance anybody can go down these days.
100%.
Right? Nobody thought Wright could go. So
and the wife, Sierra.
If he goes, Chef Jack Attack, you're fine with it. And if he stays, you're fine with it.
Well, I don't want him to leave, but let's say this though. So let's.
But your emotions of it, like when you're saying Seattle get over it on either, so Seattle has to get over it either way. Is that something you're willing to say? Like Seattle be able to get over it either way because the season is coming, ready? And we have to be ready for the season with or without Russ. So figure it out. But once you figure it out, are you going to be okay Chef Jack Attack either way, with or without Russ?
I don't want Russ to leave. I'll be upset, and it'll be horrible for the Seahawks if Russ goes. We were a 12-4 team, right? We won the division, Hooray, hooray, woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Let's not drop to a 4-12 team, okay? I like that idea. I don't mind it for 11-5. I mean, that's still, pretty good. I mean, 11-5 is a good, record. Let's not drop to 4-12, okay? Fix this up. Fix it. The season's coming quick.
Okay, Jack, would you rather go 4-12 for 3 years, but you're guaranteed a Super Bowl in the next 5 years, or would you rather just go 11-5 for 10 straight years?
Wait. What did you say to me?
Ask the question again, that was a great question.
Okay.
Hold on, I want to repeat the question.
One more time. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Would you rather go 11-5, but you're just a decent team for 10 straight years, or would you rather go 4-12 for 2 years and you're guaranteed a Super Bowl in the next 5 years?
Wait. So you're saying Russ, if he stays, will be 11-5 and we won't make the Super Bowl? No, that is disrespectful. And I don't think
I don't think
it's
he was
been
saying
happening
that. I
since
think he was
the LOB
asking it in
left.
general.
Wait.
Hold
Hold on.
Chef Jack Attack. Chef Jack, hold on now. Cameron,
Hold on,
say what you just said. I think that's a
One more
very
time.
poignant line that you just said, Cameron, that a lot of people fail to pick up on. And again, I'm not giving opinions either way. I want Russ to stay too. Of course I do. But people fail to look at the overarching facts since he arrived of the big picture. They remember the big wins, the big games. But Cameron, you said a point that I've heard few people say. Say it again. That last line. With regards to the LOB.
Was it? Yeah, ever since the Legion of Boom left, we're like, we haven't, when the opponent scores more than a touchdown, we're like 0-3 or something. We haven't won a playoff game. All of our playoff wins since the Legion of Boom left since that Super Bowl loss is when the opposing team doesn't score a touchdown. So like we're not good in the playoffs. Ever since the Legion of Boom left, we have been a decent team.
Okay, ready? All right. So, okay, you say that, right? Okay. Well, I'm gonna come right back, and I'm gonna go quick here. Well, I'm not going to go quick.
You don't do anything in the microwave, Chef Jack Attack.
Yeah, you're just gonna have to cut me off, Coach. If I
He's getting feisty.
Okay. So, now I told the stat. I'm not going to repeat it because I've said it like 100 times. We don't throw a lot in the first quarter, but now we fixed it this year. Last year we threw a lot, but really bad passes. So even at the playoff game or most games, great, we're passing more, but I mean, they're so bad passes, and he doesn't have necessary, I would say, a say in the first half. It's only when we're down, and you guys can disagree with me on this, but when we're down, so he doesn't. I don't know what I'm trying to say. They do not let him be who he actually is. He could be so much better if he's coached right. He's the best football player in the world.
What happened to the first 8 games?
Sky High, best football player in the world. Roll with it, and we got about 2 more minutes. Now I got to transition to the next topic, or we'll never make it to our Olympic action.
Yeah, main event. You're making this the main event, Chef, right now.
It's a pretty big event. There's no doubt about it.
It's a big event.
It's a big event. Big event for these fans in Seattle. In fact, for the first time, I'm seeing the super chat actually bounce up kind of quicker than normal. So people are actually saying stuff, right? So it's gonna get heated. And what I love about you, Chef Jack Attack, is that you bring this awesome personality to the animation, and I love that you have the passion. Just like when last week or 2 weeks ago when Rain was kind of pleading directly to the camera to Russ, and his emotions were right there on his sleeve. So I love that you're bringing this. And for those who are new to the show, as we continue to grow. These guys are from all around the country. Now, this is the first time we've actually had 2 people from the same state in terms of 2 guys that are from Washington, but we got another one from Ohio on the show here, and then Chef Jack Attack is a New York guy. Hard to tell that he's a New York guy, and I'm not talking like the upper state New York. I'm talking like where New York is New York, man, and I love it. That's why I love having him on the show. And then we got
the best food in the world.
Yeah, we got 3 others that are on it that are Virginia and Tennessee. So it's just in Texas. So very, very cool. But I love that Chef Jack Attack brings that deep, and I won't say what city or borough you're from. But when you're from a borough that's not Manhattan, you get to bring the action. That's why I let you bring the action. So great stuff, guys. Let's go to between the huddles. Let's break the huddle and go between the hash marks. So between the hash marks, the only topic I want to talk about is not specifically J.J. Watt, but I want you guys to just have a brief discussion or debate around who has the best defensive line, or you can even rate them if you want to say 1, 2, 3, 4, and talking all 4 teams. But I'm really interested in who you think now that JJ Watt's been traded. It's not who's the best defensive lineman, but who now do you think probably has the best defensive line? Because you arguably have 3 of the top 5 defensive lines in our division that Russ is going to have to face. So the transitional piece is the guy that we're hoping stays, who wants input, is now looking at another defensive front that's going to be solid. I'm going to start with you, Cameron. What do you think, man? What do you think? Sorry, Nick Labow.
When you have
the first time guy shot.
When you have the best defensive player of our generation, you automatically have the best defensive line.
Who would that be? Who would that be for those who aren't watching? We're like, who should I be watching? Who should I be watching that Cameron's talking about? Who's this best guy?
Aaron Donald, obviously.
Yeah.
What?
Obviously, he's the best.
Go for it. Keep going, Cameron. Floor's yours.
Who am I forgetting?
You're not forgetting anybody.
Go ahead. I'm gonna
Cameron,
let him,
keep on going. You just go with it. Go with your thought.
All right. So, and then second, the 49ers. I mean, their defensive line is really scary, even without, was it Buckner they traded?
Nick Bosa, they have too.
Yeah,
They have Nick Bosa.
Right. You guys all have your 30 seconds. I want Cameron to just talk right now.
And then next year, I think you could pick between. I think Darrell Taylor's going to have a really big year next year. Rasheem Green.
So as you're naming these guys, name the teams too, or the players. I mean, I know who you're talking about, the same team stuff, but maybe the position. If there's any extra just educational pieces, you're calling these guys out. Some people might not have heard of. So let us know when you're changing teams or.
Yeah, so 3 and 4, you could easily pick between Seattle and Arizona.
Okay. So you don't think Arizona's lifted much with the J.J. Watt signing? You'd still say for sure it's definitely L.A., definitely 49ers in that top 2, and then the other ones.
Then Seattle and Arizona can be changeable unless Darrell Taylor and Rasheem Green, LJ Collier all disappoint. They were all really high draft picks, 1st, 2nd, 3rd. And I think they can break out next year, and we can have a really good defensive line, along with Carlos Dunlap. So,
okay, Nick Labow.
Yeah, so I completely agree with Cameron. I'm putting the 49ers at 1 just because I think they have more of the pieces. Yeah, LA has Aaron Donald, obviously, and Michael Brockers, but I don't think they're going to retain Leonard Floyd in free agency. I think he's going to find big money with another team, and LA really does not have money. So I'm going to put them at the number 2 spot behind the Niners, who I think their guys have a chip on their shoulder. They were out all year. I've heard a couple people doubting them, saying, oh, I don't know if they can come back from these injuries. Eric Armstead's a very underrated defensive end. They have a rookie who will be going into his second year. I'm spacing Javon Kinlaw. I think he'll have a good year this year. And Nick Bosa, he'll definitely have a good year. And they got a good surrounding cast, great linebacker core. So I'm going to put them at number 1. At number 2, even with my projection that they lose Leonard Floyd, I still put the Rams. They have Aaron Donald, arguably, the defensive player of the year. Michael Brockers is still playing at a pretty good level. And who knows, maybe they could get one of their young guys to break out. Number 3, I am going to put the Seattle Seahawks. I think their young guys, especially LJ Collier, who's playing on, I believe, a contract year. Yes, he's playing.
Second to last, I think. Second to last year.
Yeah. So I think he still does have stuff to prove. He played a lot better last year than he did his first year. I think he's going to have a great year. The rookies, Alton Robinson, Darrell Taylor. Darrell Taylor really has a chip on his shoulder. Being out all year, he has a lot to prove, and I think he will prove it, being a great edge rusher off the edge. Alton Robinson is going to provide that kind of power mentality on the defensive end position, and I like it. Carlos Dunlap, I think, is going to have a pretty good year, kind of similar to what he had last year with Seattle. Jaron Reed, however, I do not see him back in a Seahawks uniform. I think we trade him to acquire some more draft picks, and I think we move one of those guys to the inside, whether it's Rasheem Green or find another veteran to fill that position. Poona Ford, I think, is going to have a great year. And enough for Seattle. Moving on to Arizona, while J.J. Watt is going to provide a veteran presence, their best pass rusher last year was Hassan Reddick due to Chandler Jones being injured. I think he's going to leave in free agency and go for the big bucks. He did have a great year. Marcus Golden, however, who had a pretty good year, I think he will stay back in Arizona, run it back with them. Jones, I think, will play good. Watt, I do not see playing all 16 games. And even if he does, I don't see him playing at a phenomenally high level. So that's why I'm going to put him in last. But I do really think it'll be close between Seattle and Arizona.
Love it. Sky high. Go for it.
Oh, okay. Mine is going to be a bit different. We'll start with the worst, and that is Seattle. Clearly the worst right now. But if you want to look at it kind of from a standpoint, Arizona and Seattle, they're kind of interchangeable in ways. But Seattle right now, they have you guys mentioned it. They got a lot of young guys that are kind of in a prove it year. You know, I'm not going to go out and say, oh, these guys are great draft picks, but they haven't done it. They haven't kind of really put their foot down and made their name for themselves in the NFL. So that's why I'm keeping them at number 4 right now. I know Jamal Adams is a pretty good blitzer. I know we got Dunlap. I know he's actually engaged in contract talks right now to actually extend him. We're not looking to release him, re-sign him in structure. Yeah. We're looking to extend him right now.
Which saves $11 million to this year's cap if we do extend him, by the way.
Yeah, so that's a lot of money right there. Yes. Number 3, we have to go Arizona. Arizona loves rushing 5. You know, I love what I don't know why they do it, but I love when they do it. It always overwhelms the offensive line. Partly they're going to be better next year. They're going to have Marcus Golden and Chandler Jones rushing those edges, and those are 2 Pro Bowl caliber guys, along with All-Pro J.J. Watt down the middle. Who knows if he plays 16 games? Doesn't matter. This defensive line, though, I think a lot of people are kind of, just because they signed J.J. Watt, are pushing, even though he's good, kind of pushing him under the radar a bit. They have the players that they need in those core groups. If you think about it, you have the edge rusher, that's Chandler Jones' area. If you have the defensive tackle guy, that's J.J. Watt. They kind of have that core group together. They have 2 people there that can kind of mix into a core group. So they're flying under the radar. Second, the Rams. The Rams, they have Aaron Donald. They are going to lose a couple pieces in free agency of that defense. There's no way they're going to sign him with the cap space that they have right now. But Aaron Donald always makes a defensive line great, no matter where he's on it. Obviously, the best player defensive player in this league right now, and for years to come. Number one has got to be the 49ers. Although they didn't play as well this year because of some of the injuries. Not to say that Nick Bosa may come back at the start of the year, because ACL tear is a pretty hard injury to come back from in 1 year. So I don't know if Nick Bosa comes back. The Rams and 49ers, again, interchangeable. All these teams are interchangeable because of uncertainty and because of how fluctuating things can happen in this division. I have the 49ers at number one because they have the depth. They have those guys that you can trust and all that. One man goes down, you got the next man up, and he's already making an impact on the field. So the 49ers, led by Nick Bosa, if he's healthy, are the number one defensive line in the team. Not that they have other problems on defense, which they do, but right now they do have the best defensive line in the NFC West.
Great stuff. All right, Chef Jack Attack.
Okay, so
Give it to us.
I'm going to start off with the worst, and it's really close. I think Seattle has the worst defensive line, even though we started to heat up towards the end of the season.
Sky, take the flag off. You can't have the flag on my show, buddy. Keep the flag off. Go, Chef Jack, keep going.
Okay, I would say Seattle is number 4. They are the worst defensive line. It might be close with Arizona, but I have Arizona number 3. J.J. Watt, an all-pro player, and Chandler Jones, a good player, solid player, nothing like unbelievable, but a good player. J.J. Watt is just a beast and such a great guy and such a great football player. The problem is maybe health. He could get injured, which is a problem, especially when you have a really tough division. You can't have your star players getting hurt, but we'll see. Number 2, I have the 49ers coming in. You can hate me for that. You can love me for that. I have the 49ers coming in at the second best. I know Nick might disagree with me on that one. And that's okay, but I disagree with you. How about that?
It's all right. You can have your opinion. Chef Jack, you just wrap it up because we got to get to our Olympic piece here.
Okay.
Doing a great job, man.
Right, and I would say the number 1 is the best defensive player in the league, Aaron Donald, who is an absolute beast. And I mean, every time we play against them, and most teams play against them, there's so much pressure from the defensive line on the Rams. Come on now. 49ers also defensive line just came up a huge injury on their defense and defensive line. Like Nick Bosa tore their ACL. I don't know if he'll be able to play this. So LA is the best defensive line and the best defense in general in the NFC West.
Man, great stuff. All right, so here's what's going to happen, guys. We are about to go into our little Olympic piece, and I know that the second show, I'm just putting you on hold. You're probably about 15 minutes behind, and what will happen is when we finish this show, we just take a 10 to 15-minute break when we get the second group ready to go, and then we start another roundtable. So as we go into this one, here's what's going to happen. What I put the challenge to, and I used to do this, and I've done it quite a bit lately with some of my guys I hang out with, is coming up with the best of, and we used to call it the Mount Rushmore of something or the Olympic Ring 5 of something. And today, because of the way things are going in society and out there, I just didn't want to put Mount Rushmore into this mix with these guys. It wasn't worth the risk. And with it being an Olympic year, I thought it'd be fun to just go with the Olympic 5 as creating the best. So what I put with them for this week, and we're not going to do this every single week, but I think it's a fun way to start just collaborating on some conversations, is sent some links out to them and I said, on the show, you're going to need to come up with your top selection in a draft. And we have it drafted. We've already have a selected order: quarterback, wide receiver, running back, tight end, and a head coach who's won a Super Bowl in the 2000s. And now as they make a selection, that person goes off the board. And what you'll see here, and I'll give a quick example. So Nick, since you're at the very top here, this is what you'll see. So as they make a selection, I will be adding their name in here so that people kind of top 20, they can't pick. And then I'm going to judge, after they've done the first 4 selections, who I think has kind of the best 4. In worst to best, they will get to pick the head coach. And then you guys put out there who you think has created the best team. And we'll do this in a variety of ways. This one will probably be a little choppy because it's the first time these guys have done it with me. But I think it'll be fun, and eventually we'll have some different graphs and different charts so that you'll be able to see, and we'll put things on the side. So again, as we play this out, we have our draft order, and I think Sky High, do you happen to have the draft order up by chance?
Yeah, I have the tab open on Google. Would you
All
like
right, that
me
is
to-
great. So even though Sky is participating, he is actually going to be the announcer for this in terms of with the first selection. And then when it's his turn, he'll just say with the whatever selection in the first round, it's himself. So we are doing a snake draft. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then whoever has the fourth selection, it'll reverse. And I believe that if I'm correct, the order will be Cameron has the first pick, Chef Jack Attack has the second pick, Nick Labow has the third pick, Sky has the fourth pick in the first round, which means in the second round you reverse those, and now it'd be Sky High, and then you go on. So we go 4 rounds. So starting with the quarterback, and they don't know who's selecting what, so they had to be ready and research and figure out who they're going to have, and then you in the super chat will get to vote at the very end who you think it is. So let's go to Cameron Hughes.
Do you want me to announce, Cameron?
Yes, so I want you to go ahead and make the announcement now that we've let everybody know. So I'm just getting Cameron ready to go on the clock as we begin to start the draft. So
All right,
go
Cameron
ahead.
Hughes, you are on the clock. And
on the clock literally means like 10 seconds on the clock to give you your selection.
You are the snake draft is now open. Everybody clap. Yay.
It is now officially open. Yours quarterback
Cameron
selection
Hughes.
for the 2021 Olympic 5 is who?
Tom Brady.
He goes with Brady. Any surprise there? Nah, I don't think so. No surprise there. All right. Sky High. Goes the call.
Chef Jack Attack, you are now on the clock.
You guys are gonna hate me so much for this, but
Just
for
give
the
us the call.
selection,
Don't worry about people hating you, loving you, whatever.
so for my first selection, I hate Aaron Rodgers, and I think Patrick Mahomes is a little overrated. I'm taking my favorite football player in the league, Russell Wilson.
So, Chef Jack Attack, are you going to drop down to you're going to lose draft picks? You're going to lose draft picks because, and I didn't say it in this piece, but it was definitely clearly stated to these guys early on that there was to be no selection of a Seattle Seahawk in this draft. No selection of a Seattle Seahawk in this draft. Now, because it's the first time, I'm just the acting commissioner, but I have my earpiece in. Roger Goodell has called me and he said, you know what? Because Chef Jack Attack is in his first year as a franchise, I feel like the old George Bush said, I kind of bounced my neck there. You young guys won't know what I'm talking about. Parents know what I'm talking about. So Chef Jack Attack, I'm not going to pull away a 2022 draft pick from you, but there's no Seattle Seahawks, and there's no interrupting someone else when they're drafting or booing them or anything else. You just got to let them make the draft. So you have the full 15 seconds after, the full 10 seconds after Sky High gives the call. So Sky High, go ahead and announce the second pick again.
Chef Jack Attack, you are on the clock.
All right, Chef Jack Attack, who's your selection at quarterback for the 2021 Olympic ring?
Don't want to do this.
I know, but you got 7, 6.
I hate Aaron Rodgers.
We will bypass
Aaron
you like
Rodgers.
we did Minnesota.
Aaron Rodgers.
He goes with Rodgers. Rodgers with a D. Aaron Rodgers. Okay. Sky High.
My bad.
We lost
my
Sky.
bad. No, I'm good. I'm here. I
right.
had to tell my mom something real quick.
Go ahead, Nick. Go ahead, Nick. We had a mom
Nick Labow,
interruption.
you're on the clock. You're on the clock,
With
Nick.
the third overall pick in this Olympic draft, I select at quarterback
Oh no.
your 2019 to 2020 Super Bowl winner,
Whoa.
quarterback Patrick Mahomes II.
Mahomes. Now those are not exclamation points, so let me do a different letter because of that.
Yeah.
Who I just was breaking down some film on today based on some plays that they did, but I'll talk about that later. All right. Here we go. Sky High, you're on the clock. First pick.
Oh,
All
on the
announcing
clock.
you're up. All announcing you're up, so that way you're not having to worry about
Okay,
too much.
got it.
Makes it
With
easy for
my
you.
first pick, I think there's only one feasible choice, and with my first pick in the snake draft, I select Aaron Rodgers.
I already selected him.
Oh wait,
Man,
I
oh
wasn't
man,
paying
oh man.
attention.
See, yeah, so that's
getting
what I
tough.
love about this, because let me tell you something. So this is what makes this fun. And second group, I know you guys are holding up. I will get to you guys in a second, the second round table. So pay attention, because this is how we'll be able to whip through this. Here's what I love about this. Let me get back to where we're all at here. when I do this with my buddies, and I'm usually the ringmaster of this whole thing, that happens all the time. And then we just razz them and rip them apart. We're not doing that this time. But as we go on, we'll have some razzing, we'll have some rules, we'll have some penalties that are called on that. You know, the flags will be thrown, all those other things. But first time around, we're it's like a mock draft a little bit here. So, all right, back to this guy. So just to review real quick, Cameron has taken Brady, Chef Jack Attack's taken Rodgers, Nick Labow has taken Mahomes, and Sky Aviation, you're now back on the clock. But in the second round, you mess up, you might lose a draft pick, or we might bypass
Oh, no, that's not good. With my second pick, or my first overall pick at QB, I select Matthew Stafford.
Oh, that is an outstanding pick, but I will not put my opinion out there.
Okay.
All right, and now what's really cool is that we get to come right back to you. So even though you were bummed when you saw that you were drawn out of the scientific hat that I had my wife draw from, and you guys saw the proof of that, you get to pick now as the first pick in the second round, Sky High Aviation. Go ahead, running back.
With my first pick as running back, I am going to select Alvin Kamara.
Can you give me a spelling on that? I don't have my list in front of me.
Alvin.
It's Kamara, I believe. We'll get that fixed if we need to.
That's correct.
Super chat, you can let us know if we misspell something because I'm navigating about 5 things here with my producer, which is known as my fingers. All right, so that means we go to Nick and I'm going to let you focus, Sky, for this as we go to the second round. You did a great job in the first round. With the second pick in the second round, Nick Laveau.
I'm going to select a 2020 to 2021 NFL MVP candidate that is not a quarterback, running back, Derrick Henry.
Oh, man. Oh, man. He picks Derrick the Beast Henry. Second pick. And with that, let's go to Chef Jack Attack. You're running back. Please, you've already had one thing thrown in you, so I know you're going to get it right this time. Other guys should be looking at their list. Go ahead. Running back. Who's your running back going to be?
With my second overall pick for the Team Chef Jack Attack, again, tough decision. Worried about injuries a little bit, but I don't really love the other guy. I like how this guy plays. Very similar to Derrick Henry, and he's a New Yorker. I'm taking Saquon Barkley.
Oh, man. Nice call. And I think that's L-E-Y, but it could be Barkley. I just don't recall. But we'll come back and fix that if we need to. All right. Cameron, your selection at running back is to who's Brady handing the football off to?
Nicholas Chubb.
Oh, man. What are the odds that some Cleveland Browns, we're getting players from teams that you would never think would make the Olympic ring, and they're doing it. Okay. So now that means we get to snake it the other direction. We go to the third round. We go to wide receivers.
By the way, you're taking my announcement duties away.
Yeah, I did. So that you can focus on players. I'll bring it back to you when we get to the Super Bowl head coaches. That way you can focus on your picks because you did a great job in the first round. Cameron, your selection at wide receiver in the first pick of the third round is
Devontae Adams.
Man, can't go wrong with who I think is the best receiver in the league. All right. But that was an opinion, so I tried to give my opinion, so I really don't think he's the best receiver in the league. All right. So let's go to Chef Jack Attack. Your wide receiver. Who's Rodgers going to throw to?
This is tough. You stole my pick. I'm sorry, my dog is going crazy here. Hi, buddy.
Yeah, he's upset, man. He wanted your selection. Now you're telling him he's got to make trades. He's got to call people. Can we trade up? Can we trade down?
Yeah, Ziggy. My dog Ziggy has a sock in his face right now, eating a sock.
It happens.
Okay, don't cry. Okay.
Remind me still of Barkley and Rodgers, man. He doesn't have to.
Barkley and Rodgers. So with the third overall pick, we're gonna go with Devontae Adams. What's the guy?
So here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna bypass you, but we'll come right back. It gives you time to Google search. Gives you time to look up. Yeah. You don't have to stress it because again, here's a quick commercial which will also buy you some time. Let me remind you guys that the trophy for this game is about that big. That's what the winning guy gets. So don't stress this thing out, man. We're having fun here, but there's some pride, right? There's some pride to be taking place. So this happened quite a few years ago. And in fact, in the Super Chat, I'd be surprised if anybody would know this, that years ago, the Minnesota Vikings failed in their 15 minutes to make a selection, and it went to the next team. Who was that team? It's rhetorical. Don't answer it, but I'd like to see if anybody knows who that was, or go ahead and research it. But again, Minnesota didn't pick. They didn't make their pick, and it went to the next team. Next team got to jump right out there and make the selection. Chef Jack, you ready?
Yep.
Okay, I'll come right to you.
So we'll resume it. With my 3rd overall pick, I think he is way better than Michael Thomas. Hate me for that. Okay, he is technically in New York. He's upstate. I'm taking Stephon Diggs, an absolute beast.
Man, and what I love is that I think Chef Jack Attack thinks that Russell Wilson is technically in New York also.
I'm picking all New York here. Come on now.
I love it. Nick Labow, wide receiver, with the 3rd pick in the 3rd
drops
round.
back, play action to Henry, looking deep for a Hail Mary, and he's got DeAndre Hopkins.
Oh, man, that's a great play-by-play call for the guy who, by the way, Nick Labow, I was busy doing some stuff in the introduction. Now, are you ready to make the announcement of what you and Sky High are doing yet, or are we holding off on that announcement with what you guys are doing with another league that's out there right now?
We're holding it off.
All right, then that's it. I'm not even I'm glad I didn't just throw it out there. All right, so with that, let's go to Sky High Aviation with the 3rd pick in the 3rd round. Your selection is at wide receiver.
Thank you, Nick. I'm going to pick Tyreek Hill, Mahomes' favorite target.
Kind of a dual threat guy too, right? Can do some other things, man. Very, very good. Okay. And so let's go to looping it back right to you, Sky Aviation, for your tight end. So this is going to be hard for me to pick, man. Who's got the...
You kidding me, man? I got to go with Travis Kelce. You can't split the teammates up.
Oh, man. Oh, man. Okay, Travis Kelce is the guy. And with that, we're going to go to Nick right back at creating the Labow. Who's the tight end that Mahomes is throwing to?
Mahomes, play fake to Henry, pump fake to Hopkins, looks, fires off the middle crossing route to George Kittle for the touchdown.
You other two guys, I hope you're researching people. So he throws to Kittle. Man, I tell you, Henry's going to be going palms up all game long. Like, do I ever get to touch the ball here?
Cameron Hughes is suffering right
Man,
now.
oh, man.
He's like,
Chef Jack Attack and Cameron are like, man, Chef Jack Attack's ready to flip the omelet off the skittle and say, you know what? No meat in this omelet for anybody. No eggs, nothing. Just an eggless omelet, if that's even possible, Chef Jack Attack.
That's impossible.
All right. So, Chef Jack Attack, do you have a tight end, or do you need to trade? Do you need to trade out of that selection?
I mean,
it's tough, man. This is tough.
All right.
You can trade down and let Cameron Hughes pick, which buys you some time, but it may lose you the next better tight end. It will buy you some time to look up a tight end.
I'm gonna pick right here. I'm gonna pick.
All right.
See Cameron's face. He wants.
That's why, guys, in the next show, make sure that's why you want to have like 4 or 5 guys on your list, not just 1 or 2 guys.
I'm thinking Mark Andrews.
3, 2.
Okay, with
1.
my
Need a
4th
selection.
overall pick with my Chef Jack Attack team, I'm picking a guy who is a good player. He's in Baltimore. I'm picking Mark Andrews.
He's picking Andrews. Pretty darn good selection coming out.
Cameron Hughes, this should be obvious, the next one.
Cameron Hughes, you'd think so. You'd think so, but you know what? When the pressure's on, when the pressure's on, not everybody thinks like, hey, let's get the guy $100,000, a little bonus by just tossing the football. We're trying to win a game here. Not everybody handles the pressure well. I think Cameron Hughes does, though. He seems like
I got like 15 guys that everybody.
Of course you do.
Come on, Cameron. You know who to pick.
Mr.
Here.
Mock Draft. He's got everybody.
Darren Waller.
There we go.
Did you say? I'm sorry. The crowd was going nuts before the selection came into the headquarters. What was the selection again?
Darren Waller.
Yeah.
Waller. Well, I'm sorry. Waller.
I forgot about him.
He's one I rarely see his name on. Is he W-A-H?
I think it's just W-A-L-L-E-R.
Okay, I couldn't recall it was W-H-L-E-R.
Yes.
All right, so let me take a little look here. Didn't get on that one, on that part right there. So we got W-A-H-W-A-L-L-E-R.
There you go.
There. All right. So I got to do a quick review here. So Cameron Brady, he's got the GOAT. He's got Chubby in there. He's got Adams, who's geez Louise, and then Waller. That's a solid crew. But then you go to Chef Jack Attack. Chef Jack Attack has definitely my my favorite quarterback, and I'm trying to take the personal piece out of this to make it fair, but geez, a team that's being led by Rodgers, I'm going to be a fan of. But and then you got Barkley, and it's not Charles Barkley, but it reminds me of Charles Barkley. Diggs makes a great play a few years ago. And then Andrews, stud and a half. Man, that's a good list. Nick
I got a coach that's going to blow your socks off.
Oh, man, you got to tell me. I don't spell a guy's name right. I mean, he's only better quarterbacks.
It's going to be a good pick.
And I watched it today. Mahomes, Mr. Play Action Sprint Out guy, he's got Henry. I mean, he's definitely when the plays aren't going well, he can hand the ball off to Henry. Hopkins, a playmaker, and geez Louise, he's got Kittle. That is a pretty solid team, man. And then there's Sky Aviation, who's been sitting out on the radar. 747 flying in with Stafford. He's got a 707 with Kamara there. He's got definitely got a private jet and Hill. And with Kelsey, it's like Top Gun award. Man, this is tough. This is definitely tough. One last quick look. Cameron, Chef Jack Attack.
Come on, let's do coach.
All right, so here we go.
Coach.
The head coaching order will be for your Super Bowl winning coach. So this isn't the final win. The Super Chat will kind of get to determine it. Nick Labeau, you have the first pick of the draft for your head coach. That has to be a Super Bowl winning head coach from 2000 to 2020. Who is your head coach?
This head coach is arguably one of the greatest who's won so many Super Bowls. His name starts with a B, and his last name also
Does he have a great
Bill
first
Belichick.
name? Does he have a great first name? Is his first name like an awesome first name?
His first name is the greatest first name other than
There you go.
Coach.
You might get the first pick in the supplemental draft too, just for that. All right, let's make sure we get the Bill in there. All right, I always forget. It's like it's Bill. It's Bill. It's Bell. It's B-E-L. B-E-L-I-C-H-I-C-K.
Yeah.
I don't spell these guys' names very often. I always feel like but that's close enough. Close enough for that.
Yeah, that's right.
Cameron Hughes. I got to go with Cameron Hughes on this one. Although it's tough, man. But Cameron Hughes, who's your head coach?
You're hurting me.
I am taking Tony Dungy.
Now,
oh my God.
Here's what's crazy about that is you literally stole one of the remaining players' coaches, and I didn't think anybody would pick Tony Dungy, and I think it's an outstanding
He's
selection.
one of my favorite coaches all time.
That's an outstanding selection, and most people would not pick Tony Dungy, but you did, and I know that the guy. Now, the only reason I'm doing this order is it's really kind of a tie. Is I'm buying Chef Jack Attack some time because he's needed in a couple of rounds because he didn't have all the directions early on in the day, so he came on later in the day to figure out. So I'm buying you some time. So Sky, I'm going to give you this pick because there's plenty of great head coaches out there, and I know that yours got taken. So you just had to make a trade to move up to third in the pick in the draft for a coach. Who's your head coach? And Super Chat, I'm going to open this up here in a second. We'll see who out there thinks has the best overall group for the Olympic Ring 5.
Well, to pick my backup is gonna be Mike Tomlin.
Ooh, Crazy Eye Tomlin.
Crazy
intensity.
I don't think he's crazy.
I said Crazy Eye. Crazy Eye because Tomlin has those big eyes. Like I'm coming after you, man. I love that guy. Chef Jack Attack.
Well, thank God. Thank you for not picking this coach. I think it's a good coach. So with my fifth pick for the Chef Jack Attack team, he's beaten Bill Belichick twice in Super Bowl, and he is a New Yorker. Okay, two of the greatest stories of all time beating the Patriots. Okay,
I'm slowly typing it out, Chef Jack Attack, because I love where you're going, man. I love where you're going. Keep on going. I'm typing it out. No. You're going a different route.
Coach is Mr. Tom Coughlin. I don't even know how to pronounce the last name.
Mr. Tom Coughlin. Yeah, I was typing it out for you as we were going.
Coach, does this mean I can get Reed as my OC?
No, we're not talking OCs here, my friend. But let's give a last look to the Super Chat. I'm not making the final decision. We'll let the Super Chat roll as we close the show here. But in review, Nick Labeau had Mahomes at quarterback, Henry at running back, Hopkins, Kittle, and then he had a guy named Bill Belichick. I think we've heard of him. It's just a matter of, is he going to cheat in this? Is there going to be an Olympic scandal with Bill Belichick? Yeah. I think the guy's a stud. I think Belichick, there's nobody better. No one's more into detail than him. Cameron Hughes goes with Brady. Again, I don't know. Is he going to deflate something in the Olympics? Maybe, maybe not. He definitely will show up prepared. He's got Chubb, he's got Adams, he's got Waller, and he definitely has arguably the guy you want carrying the flag out there for the Olympics. Like Tony Dungy might be the guy carrying the USA flag for the team here. And then you go to Chef Jack Attack. Got my quarterback. He's got Barkley. Man, I love Barkley. Healthy Barkley. He's got Diggs. He's just game player. Andrews. And man, I love the head coaching decision, man.
Yeah.
Love the head coaching decision there.
I knew.
And then Sky High Aviation, Stafford, who I'm a huge fan of. I think he would just be a guy that nobody would think could do anything, and he'd be a hero in the Olympics. He'd be that guy that like you don't expect to make the podium, and then he makes it, and everybody's wearing Stafford USA stuff. Then Kamara, Hill. I mean, he'd be the guy everybody around the world wants to watch. Like Vince Carter would, he was doing dunks. Kelsey, and then Tomlin. Man, I mean, that's just a great overall group. So as we close it out, guys. I know you guys are. I would love to give you guys all the time, but we got the second round going. So instead of just closing everything out, I'm just going to say, make sure you go to Nick Labow's channel with the Seattle Sports Talk. He's doing just some great stuff. It's really, really neat to see what he's doing.
Thank you so much, Coach.
Oh, it's awesome. Cameron Hughes, you're going to get to that 1,000 tonight, man. We're just going to make it happen. So Cameron Hughes does some great stuff. Really glad to have you on. Some great insight. Looking forward to working with you more. Collaborate with all you guys one-on-one. Chef Jack Attack. I'll let you guys just a second. Chef Jack Attack. Your channel is so much fun to watch. And let me make sure I transition over to our super chat.
Thanks.
Just the stuff that you're doing is fantastic. Love the videos. Love all the stuff. And then to my buddy Sky High, who I don't know if you were shaving there or what you were doing, man. But I tell you what, dude.
This is nice.
I tell you what, dude. It is fun to watch you. It's fun to see the things you're doing. Last week it was Nick Labow helping me for hours. This week it was Sky Aviation. I said, hey, can you help me for a couple minutes, get some things going? 2 hours later, he's like, Coach, I got to get changed and ready for the show. So, man, just appreciate everything you're doing. We all love and appreciate Norbcam. We love what he's doing, so we want you to subscribe to him. We love DJ Squabble. We love Steezy. Love, Seahawks Martin. We love Abker. And like I always say, for everybody, we want you to live your life one play at a time. And we are going to see you next time in the huddle, but I know some of these guys were excited about the Open.
Yeah, they want to see the Open.
So I'm going to replay the Open one last time, and that will be how we end things. So with that, we look forward to seeing you now, guys. There'll be a 10-second countdown because I have it tied in as one piece. So with that, we look forward to seeing you next time in the huddle, which will be about 20 minutes from now in the next show on a different link.
You got to play it, Coach.
I'm looking to play it and trying to figure out where it went. And here we go.
There you go.
You'll have to put it on YouTube to listen, guys. It won't come through the